Here we have a Wingtra, a vertical takeoff and landing fixed wing aircraft. I'm going to apologise for some of the wind noise now, but when you're out in the field and you're trying to record something, wind noise can be an issue. So the video's got a bit of wind noise, guys. I do apologise, but enjoy. So this is a vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. Another one. And I really like this one. So this is the Wingtra Pilot software, and it's pre-flight checklist before the flight.
And it won't let you take off till you've made sure that you click them all off.
Fantastic little bit of software. Using a Trennis, modified slightly. But yes.
Yeah, they put all these little buttons nice here. So the emergency procedures, if you click that 3 times in 2 seconds, it's going to cut everything off, all the motors. It basically flips one of the ailerons up, keeps one down, so it'll actually do a very fast but a spiral down.
All right.
Also, in terms of fun, you've got this assisted mode, so if you do want to take over at any point, you can fly, and then you can also put it into the transition as well. So the procedure would be, if there was an air prox or something like that, press the assisted, the woman in the tablet will go now in assisted mode. You can flick that transition and put it down onto the hover, and then same again, you can flick it back up again and fly manually. And also you've got the return to home function on there, but it also comes up on the screen with the emergency stop as well on there as well.
Fantastic.
Do you want to go through all, or just so in terms of sort of when you get down, so from basically turn on, so when you're in ready to flight mode, it'll basically do the aileron check. Once you've seen both flaps move, you click that you've seen it, so it's in like a prime ready. It does then an internal camera check just to make sure that it's going to be triggering in flight, and then you put the little pitot tube, so the pitot thing on the pitot sensor, and that'll basically just create like a zero reading. And once it's happy with that, you can then just remove that, and then you'll upload the flight plan. Now, that's come up a warning because it's got a DSM underneath it, so just an area. It's basically advice saying, well, do you want to walk into the safe height? So I'm just going to say yeah. But you can see at the bottom here, when it loads up the data, you can see if there's going to be any like large, I don't know if there's any massive warehouses or anything like that. That should appear up on the DSM. Then once you're happy with that, when it's it's going to take the area it's covering and its current altitude. Should it go past any of these, the geofence, like I say, it's just going to forget what it's doing and come back to land. I think I've only ever done that once when I set the flight path a bit further out, and there's a bit of a windy day, so we did overshoot it a little bit, and it did just then return back home. So the procedure, when it does ever enter into this return to home function, when you bring it down to land, you have to reset it. So you take the batteries, and you have to go through the whole pre-flight checklist again.
Just see if we can get it on the camera flying. It's like all things, they're very tricky to see in this kind of light.
It's quite surprising. We was flying this at about 500 metres away, maybe slightly less, about 480, and we could see it from right at that distance. Which
it's really good. That white tail fin is really good. You know, it really stands out. I mean, the orange of the aircraft stands out well.
Yeah.
And that white stands out really well. I wonder, yeah, it's really nice. It's like a big flying fish, isn't it?
Yeah. That's basically the best way to describe it. Because people often say, they go, oh, it's big, isn't it? But I was like, but
It's not that big.
it's not. And I think that what people don't like about it is the sense that you can't fold it down. Like an EV, you've got in a little box,
Yeah.
and off you go. But I would say, but like the EV, you've got to take your laptop out in the field as well. Whereas this is all quite, once it's in that backpack, it's quite nice and self-contained. And we're in this area now where we want to be a bit more minimal. We just want a tablet. We just want an RC, and off we go.
It's really nice. I really like that. It's nice and visible. It's really good.
I think it's probably 9 or 10 dotted about in the UK now. So it should land within 3 to 5 metres of where we take it off.
Okay. It's one of those interesting things with all drones, because of the perspective, and they're up there and you can see them, and it's like, well, how? Those elevons are working well, aren't
Oh,
they?
they shift like we've had it landing almost horizontally, then just at that last minute it flicks it down.
It is. Hey, look at them work. It's really, really good. That is really impressive. I like that.
It's pretty cool. Like I said, with this new software now, whereas before it would really hang,
Yeah.
and in a windy day it almost shifted it about a bit. This is a lot more a faster descent, but controlled at the same time.
Yeah, and those elevons are so good.
I mean, it's quite hard wearing. It's made out like a fiberglass polymer. So it is hard wearing. The only thing is, if you do crack it, then they replace it. They replace it. Small like dints. Then they will give you a kit where you can fix it yourself or out. But I mean, most of the time, people obviously insuring them now, so they just send it back to them. They'll take all the gubbins out of it and stuff like that, and just give you a new shell, essentially.
Yeah. And like I say, when it was in flying, I mean, I don't know if it's shown from the film, but that white fin, that looked really clear, didn't it?
Yeah.
It really gives it a good. Well, we have it, a Wingtra.
When I say it's that easy to use. If you was out in the field, if you've done all your pre-flight checks, you could be up in the air within 5 to 10 minutes.
Do you know, versus using a multi-rotor, for big projects, it's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely brilliant.
I think if I set up my own survey drone company, I'd buy a Wingtra and a little Phantom just for doing small areas.
Yeah, there's absolutely, it's the right tool for the right job. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with that, the way that flew.
It's cool. The two lads who come up with it, they did it as a PhD project probably 4 or 5 years ago in Zurich, and the professor said to him, "You've got an idea here, run with it." And that's exactly what they've won like 3 competitions now in Switzerland, like best startups. I'd say globally now there must be over 300. They've really pulled
really
out
good.
the stops on it. Really great bit of kit. So the good thing about it, because they've got one product, they can just champion it and keep rushing with it. So when they first came out, these weren't screw-ons. There was on like you had to screw and bolt them into the side. So
Yes.
if someone broke them in the field, you had to replace it all. Now the screw-on, it comes with loads of spares. You just take them out and screw them back in. This used to be on elastic. Now they're on just magnets. Smart batteries now. They've updated the prop. They've updated the motors and the servos inside.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just very little really to go wrong with it. We've not had any go back in sort of the 9-10 we've sold.
That is really nice.
And the software's nice and easy to use. It's almost DJI-esque with the flight plan inside of it.
Yes, I think anyone that flies a multi-rotor, and they wanted something for surveying, it beats having just seen what it does, I would rather have that for a mapping project. If I was doing a lot of surveying versus an M210 any day of the week.
Yeah.
I don't see the amount of time it takes to get an M210 out of its box, set it up, faff around.
Yeah.
You could have this prepped up and going in less time, maybe, actually.
100%. 100%. And you don't have the DJI thing hanging over it.
Yeah,
you don't want that.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it did actually take off. To be clear, it did take off from what, sort of here?
Yeah, so we're sort of 5 metres, sort of, aren't we?
Yeah, we're about 5 metres.
Yeah,
we're about 5 metres. I mean, that's the only difference.
I mean, about all in weight-wise, it's about 4.5 kilos.
Okay. Oh, damn it! It's just above the A2 CFC.
I wonder if you just get to trim some bits off it somewhere.
Oh man!
So, because I think the EB's under
1.4
yeah, it's
or something.
Very light.
Yeah, yeah.
Because initially when we was talking about this, we had a few little fuddy duddies used to work with us. It was like, you'll never get that on an OSC. I was like, why? You'll never get it on there because it weighs too much. It's like, yeah, but
why not?
It's got so much safety features. Why not? But
well, if an M210 can be on an OSC,
exactly.
A Wingtra can go on an OSC. No two ways about it. That is really nice.
And the only thing, it does go into a full safety mode where if it lost GPS,
yeah,
and if it lost full-on battery power,
yeah,
then it will transition wherever it is and make a controlled descent down.
Okay.
So, but that's obviously the very unlikely of GPS fail, which obviously very unlikely.
And it is, let's be clear, bloody clear to see in full orange.
Yeah, yeah. You're not going to mistake it, and I don't think any birds will really have a good go at it, to be honest.
No, it's not the right colour and it's not the right shape. I want to just yeah. So battery's coming out.
Yeah. I just slide out like that.
If your XT60 connector will let it go, come on, give me it. It's like, no, I want to stay where I am.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
nice and warm.
My fingers are cold. Come on. It's nearly there.
This is the problem when you're out flying cold, everyone. Everyone thinks it's a nice job flying drone. When you can't feel your fingers, you suddenly realise that no, it's not so good.
Nearly there. I can see it's out slightly. There we go.
Hey.
So it does have these little safety clips as well with how it sits in, so you just pull them back out. Like
and these are specific batteries then, are these?
So I imagine they've got some Chinese people to make them and they've probably wrapped them, but it does have these.
Okay, so they're 4S. If I'm reading that right, or I'm just... Hang on a minute, are these... These aren't LiPos, are they? These are...
Lithium ion.
I was going to say, I'm just looking at it going, the battery voltage is wrong.
So they can degrade very quickly.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with lithium. So this is a big thing with lithium ion. You can't leave these charged like you can LiPos. These drop off a lot quicker.
Yes.
I would say use these within 5 days of charging, not 10.
So the thing with these is what I discovered was, obviously when it's doing getting up to that altitude to transition,
yeah,
or when it's landing, you can see that percentage drop significantly.
Yeah,
so on the older versions, they used to, when it got to zero, never like you ever get to that situation, but they always kept 10% in the tank anyway as like a safety precaution. But with these newer ones, I found, certainly the newer software, I think 'cause they've got a lot more data now of people using it.
Yeah,
they've got a lot more feel of what can we realistically get out the batteries.
Okay. I quite like that. Oh, it's just a foam cowl then.
Yeah, just a bit
of glass, fiberglassing, and yeah, okay, very nice.
And then that just sits on top of the tins, then packs down.
Right
way around. So that's on like a little ball joint. So it is in there nice and... What is it, we're getting stuff out today? That just sits down there.
Yeah. Then it goes into its carrier bag. So this is the lighter carrier bag. There is actually a hard case for it.
There's a hard case one as well, and I believe now their hard case is more shaped like the drone.
Right.
Whereas the other one, I mean, like I said, it's like carrying a coffin around. It was massive, but this just sits quite nicely, and then that just sits in.
That's actually really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then that is it. That's nicely done, and that's not too bad. Too bad, so fits across the back of a car nicely. That does.
I normally just sit it in the back of the car,
Done. And then got a nice little hard case here for the transmitter.
Yeah. You get plenty of spares and.
Oh, I see. So the number on it is a serial number 1562. It's the same as the transmitter,
Yes.
so you know it's all the same. Okay. And then, yeah, okay. That's really good. I like that.
I think Wingtra have been on the go maybe 3 years now.
Yeah. Looking good.